Hey, welcome everybody to the Smarketing CONNECT podcast. My name is Tom Libby, your host, and I'm one of the founders here at Smarketing CONNECT. And with me today, I have my guest, Mark. Here is kind of cool because Mark is not anywhere near here. Mark is all the way out in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I'm on the other side of the country in Boston. So, Mark, why don't we jump right into it and give us in a few sentences kind of who you are and what you do.
Sure. I'm living here in Salt Lake City area and running a business for the last 25 years. I'm hitting a 25-year anniversary, so I'm doing something that I really love to do, and that is just run a digital marketing agency. And hitting 25 years means a lot to just basically my family, because I've been able to work from home all this time. And I look at pictures of my dad who hit his 25-year anniversary. He shared them with me over the weekend, and he's in a suit and tie, and he always had to go around carrying a briefcase with and I'm not, look at me. I'm just sitting in my basement and running an operation that's been very successful.
Very cool. And not only successful, but most of us don't even think about digital marketing 25 years ago when talk about infancy. That was well within its infancy. But never mind working from home in today's environment, right? So, all right.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about who you like to work with. What types of companies, whether they're in a particular vertical market or geographic market, or how does that work for you? What does that look like?
Easy there, Tom. I mean, I like to work with all businesses that have a website and that they know what they want. But when I started my business, the clients I worked with wanted everything, and that just took all my time, and I couldn't basically scale my business the way I wanted to. I wanted to grow. I wanted to put all my energy in having multiple amounts of clients to work with. And so about 13 years ago, I really just pivoted towards going after where the industries are, where the people who have the websites are, where I could focus all that energy on getting possibly one or two accounts and take over that book of business where I'm handling all the digital marketing needs for that particular client. The digital marketing needs that I handle right now are SEO clients, digital marketers that have SEO as a service that they provide. And so I offer a white label solution for them. And those are the businesses I like to go after, is businesses that have basically 1 to 2 websites that they work with, or 30 or 187 with one of my clients. So I like to work with digital marketers that sell SEO services, and I could be a fulfillment center for them in the ranked delivery product. Ranked delivery, a little bit different than SEO, but maybe I could go into that a little bit more.
That sounds great. Good. So I think for you, I was thinking of this question in a bit different atmosphere, because you have such a sliver of that digital marketing world that I just don't want this to be easy for you, right? So so tell us about a small business tool that you actively use that is not SEO driven that you think every business owner should use.
Wow. Well, every business owner should use their lead gen tools for sure. However you can do it. I'm not an email wizard, but I have to have email wizarding tools. And with that in mind, I can't give you a specific name of a tool like that, because I basically hire the virtual assistants to run that. So the tool that works for you, if you had to get out your tool shed and do email marketing, would be probably one who can run it very effectively. And that would be a virtual assistant or somebody in an agency. But my favorite one-on-one tool would have to probably be Duck Soup. Where I could email people on LinkedIn and just stay friendly with people, not get me into trouble. A lot of people get in trouble with LinkedIn, add in Chrome tools like that. The other tool I would say is get yourself an 11-year-old daughter who wants an electric bike. Okay. And I was able to get her to land me some really large clients using Alignable. So I turned her into my Alignable virtual assistant, and she got an electric bike. So those are pretty cool things to do with tools. And when you say little, she's still 11. So wait, she's turning 11 in November. So she's getting bigger now, but
so you have a mix of today's modern technology and child labor. I love it.
Motivation is a key thing.
So this question, I love asking this question because I want you to think about it from a perspective that is not quite as simple as you might think, right? So when I ask experts that have a very particular niche about what business owners problem they get brought in to solve, it usually goes straight to their niche, right? So like an SEO expert might say, well, they bring me in because to fix their SEO. And I always challenge you back saying, it's got to be something bigger than that, right? It's not simply that they understand there's an SEO problem. They probably have an underlying problem that they want you to solve, and that's why they reach out to you in the first place. Do you have something like that, the challenges that people bring you in to solve?
I have a really good team in place right now that does a lot of lead gen for me. And in order to get 5 calendar appointments, I've been doing something like Sales Navigator for around, since I was an early adopter in 2015 when Microsoft bought LinkedIn. And because I'm on the phone around 5 hours a day with a digital marketing owner, I'm solving mental issues a lot of times with what they're stuck on. They're stuck. I'm stuck. We're all stuck. But my conversation starts off with a question. What do you want to talk about? And when I hear something from that question I either know that they want something from me to really know, or they just want me to know about them. And so it works both ways to how that conversation is going to go. But I wanted to just bring that little insight in, only because when a digital marketer asks me what I can do for them, or they're asking more about my services, I might be able to get them unstuck. And it's like taking a horse to the water, the river or the creek, and they either want it and they lap it up and they get their head down, or they don't. And I've always said you can't force a horse and you can't push that neck down in order to get it to drink. But when they're thirsty, believe me, we can get their game face on, because that's the name of my company, SEO Game, and we could start getting to work. And the way I feel like work is necessary to help them is get their game up. And as a white label rank delivery specialist, there's nothing more than that digital marketer wants from a service like mine, which I'm just the vendor of, and that is to relieve them from all of the headache of handling their SEO services, and to take that off the table and get them back in the game where they can go back to their business and agency and realize why they started their business up in the first place. That's everything for me. When they get their game back and they're selling, they're making more money, they're happy because they're making more money, and all those things go along in that conversation a lot more smoothly.
Very cool. Very cool. So a lot of us consultant type people and good networkers often get asked questions about hiring a sales agency, marketing agency, sales consultant, marketing consultant, etc. If somebody were to ask you for advice on how to do that, what are the things that you ask them, or that you tell them they should really keep an eye on or look for, or questions they should ask if they're in the market of hiring a person like you or I?
Well, I haven't given much thought to the sales side, because the sales side of people that I've worked with in the past were some of my own clients who pretty much wanted to work for me on a commission base. And I'm not going to turn that down, and I love them to pieces, but then they leave.
Yeah.
Right? They could either disappear as a client, and then that commission great juice that they were bringing your way kind of ends up, departing ways. But I can talk a little bit more about hiring the right people to help you get those 5 appointments I was talking about earlier in the last question you asked me. And that is, since 2015, when Sales Navigator became a big thing in LinkedIn, and I realized I just can't get these appointments in my messenger like I want to. I'm going to need to hire some really smart virtual assistants. And I've kicked the can with a few of them. I've kicked the tires, with a few of them, and we've parted our ways. But honestly, they worked their butts off to get what I wanted. The strategy was fill up calendar appointments, right? Wake up every day, have those. And you know what? If you have to spend $200, $500, $700 a month, you get the leads, you get the strategy that you're looking for. And when you cut that off, or for whatever reason, things depart and they go their separate ways, so do the leads, so do the appointments, so does your day. It becomes like this moping around. So you got to have the right people in place, and you do have to spend money. So that's what I say about that.
So this question I love, because it makes people think outside the box of what we do on a day-to-day, from work, right? So Mark, if you could be a superhero, who would it be, and tell us why? And you have like a minute and a half to do this.
A superhero. Oh my goodness. So this one got me stuck. Not gonna lie. I hear that they do these things on Facebook, like a princess and a superhero.
Yeah.
Boy. If I could be a superhero, I'd be like Wonder Woman had that invisible jet.
Awesome.
And she could fly around and get things done, and no one could tell where she was, except I'd always look up in the sky and I could see this, person, whether she's, sitting in this plane. I want to be that person where they could, I'm flying around and they don't see all the operation. That'd probably be my superhero, Wonder Woman and her invisible jet. Because people could see me. I'm a leader. They could see me flying around. Everything's good. Everybody knows who I am, but they can't see the operation. But I've got a really good operation behind that jet that Wonder Woman has. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of mechanics and there's a lot of things to make that thing fly. And that's just the same with my business. We've got a pretty squeaky clean organization. It's something that I
background almost invisible, right?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, and I'm invisible, meaning I have 0 people negative things said about me. And that's the way I want it. Reputation is everything to run a digital marketing after 25 years. And so I'm going to keep it that way, knock on wood, but that's so that nobody says anything negative about my family, my company, my own workers, and future workers, so that they can come on board and we could just be a superpower.
So Mark,
that's the way I'd answer.
So this is the part of the podcast that we give some kudos to somebody that we've worked with in the past, somebody in our world, somebody sales or marketing that you think does a great job. And of course, if we can have them on the podcast, that'd be great. But who would you like to give that shout out to, and that you think is worthwhile to give a pat on the back to our audience?
All right. No, there's instantly my mind thought of the guy that's helping me with my own lead gen right now. Connor Robertson and his partner Keith. They're over at Syntax. It's spelled funny. It's syntacz.com. Syntax. The reason I bring up Connor is he's a true believer in the giver's gain principle, where you can't get what you want unless you help others get what they want. Not only is he my lead gen, but he's constantly trying to find people to connect with me in LinkedIn. There isn't a day that goes by that there's 3 or 4 people that he's introduced me in LinkedIn. And that's amazing. That's pretty cool. He'll do that for anyone, by the way. And he is a chiropractor by profession, practicing chiropractor. His partner, Keith, which is my go-to guy because Connor's always busy on the phone. But Keith, I could call him up anytime, and we get everything worked out every month. and it's just a great relationship. And he works like that with everybody. So if you're looking for affordable link gen service, I'd go with Syntax and Connor Robertson's. Both of them are professional. Both of them are chiropractors. I think Keith is a physical therapist, but they're great. They understand what lead gen is in the real world. They do it for themselves, and they'll work for anybody.
That's pretty awesome. Well, everybody, this is the end of our podcast here, as you guys have seen in the past. This is all of Mark's contact information, everything that I found that's public facing on his website, which I forgot the www.seogaming.com. There's a typo in there for you. But Mark, aside from what they see on the screen here, is there any other way that somebody should be looking for you if they need to find you?
LinkedIn is a great way to connect with me. I connect with everyone. I'd love the opportunity to create signature files. And when I talk about signature files, it's my lead gen service. I have about 5 or 6. If you have a service that you want me to refer business to, I feel like I can help you in the referral market, and connect with me on LinkedIn and you'll find out how.
Awesome. And if you remember nothing else, just remember you're watching Mark here on the Smarketing Connect podcast, and you can find Mark on Smarketing Connect. So if you don't remember any of this and you need to get to Mark, let me know and I'll get you in touch with Mark ASAP. So Mark, thank you very much. It's been a lot of pleasure for me. It's been a lot of fun, and I'll say so long to everybody. Thank you.
We'll see you, Tom. Bye.